In this episode, we're going to talk about the men we chose when we were younger versus the men now. So this is the boy episode. We're going to talk about the breakups and the exes that shaped us, the things we tolerated then versus the things we tolerate now, the kind of behavior we thought was very romantic at 21 and we now kind of realize that is very toxic. Also, just a bunch of stories we've never told before on social media. So wherever you're listening to this, we really hope you enjoy.
When we were starting this episode, I was like, wait, guys, I've literally only had one boyfriend my whole life.
Hello, we're back. Episode 2. We're going to be talking about boys. We're kind of excited. No, I was like, I was not going to be able to add a bit.
Yeah, I was like, what do I even add to the conversation? But it's funny because
you'll have a lot to add. I feel like you'll have so much to add because you have actually stuck through one guy your whole life, unlike the two of us. Like
but it brings a different dynamic. I feel like
exactly. We all have such different
like
relationship and dating experiences as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have a fiance among us.
We have a fiance.
That's true. We were counting down the days to this Colombian wedding. We were literally telling everyone and then 2027 Colombia, and everyone's like, oh my god, the wedding's already planned, and we're like, well,
no,
it will.
No. But we're ready
at all.
We're ready.
It will be in 2027. So
that's what
I'm just so excited to show you guys what a Colombian party is like.
I'm so excited to go
I'm already
to
on my
Colombia.
Spanish journey. We've realized the vows. Well, I've realized the vows are obviously going to be in Spanish.
Everything's going to be in Spanish because my fiance Jordi is from Spain. And so like we speak Spanish and we were literally like, wait, there's so many people in our lives that just speak English. You're not going to understand like the ceremony, the vows. So we do need like an English speech at some point. We're going to do 2 English speeches.
That would be good. That would be appreciated.
But yeah,
we're going to need that.
But we are in very different like points in our lives when it comes to relationships. And we have very different relationship experiences.
Yeah.
I want to clarify. I feel like I'm going to sound like a slut because I've had so many boyfriends, but I'm also older.
You're 28.
How many boyfriends have you
You're 28.
had?
Well, technically just 4.
That's not bad.
Like real boyfriends.
Official 4. I've dated more than that. Like I've had like flings here and there, and, like situationships and stuff. But like official, you're my boyfriend, 4.
You know what? Officially 2.
Well, then officially 5 if we're counting the like you're
my
13.
middle school boyfriend.
That's so funny. But no, official I feel like 4. But the first ever relationship that I had, I was 16, I think. So I was literally just a baby.
Oh my gosh.
So different. I was such a child.
Yeah.
I know. Even like thinking back, because I had my first boyfriend at 15 for like, I don't know, 6 months or something. No, probably longer. And then I met my like latest ex. I was 16.
We were all young. Like we all were like early birds, I guess, in the relationship. And I never thought that would be the case for me because I was definitely like in my ugly. I feel like we'll talk about this. We were all a bit in our ugly duckling stage. Yeah. So I always in my head was like, oh, I'm not going to be that person who like finds a boyfriend early on, you know, and then somehow it just kind of worked.
So
but
funny.
I was 15 as well.
Yeah.
So we all like started.
But I feel like that is a normal age. Just is that not normal?
Like, I don't know. I feel like
I'm
I
thinking like my cousin now has a girlfirlriend. He's 15.
Yeah.
Oh,
my brother
maybe
too.
it is.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, maybe
15 is normal. We're like
everyone's an ugly duckling.
Yeah.
15. I mean, most people are, so it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
But you started dating Marcus at 15, right? Like that's when you met.
Literally. Well, we met even before that because we went to the same school. So I've known Marcus like since we started at the same school together, but he was a grade above. So technically I knew of him when I was 12 when I started school.
But you
like,
hadn't like,
but I barely knew him. We were like on
anything.
the same swim team. Like that's kind of how I knew like in my head that he existed. But it's so funny because I literally, maybe I was lying to myself and Marcus gets annoyed when I say this, but I was literally like, I didn't realize that I was attracted to him until he basically asked me out on a date. And then I was like, oh, maybe I do like him, you know? I don't know. And for so long, like my best friend was also like, you like him. I know you like him. And I was like, no, I don't. I don't know. I think I was like also just in denial.
Justice for Marcus.
But I think those are the best way to start relationships because when you don't think that you like them, you don't have this pressure of like looking good. Like you're just like, oh, I don't like him. That's how I was with Jordi also. I was like, I honestly don't like him at the beginning. So then I'm like, there's no pressure of
to like perform anywhere.
Exactly. And then that's when they fall in love because you're being your true self. I swear
they
to God.
see your true self. That's so true. But yeah, so we met at school. That's kind of how that started for me.
Yeah.
And if anyone doesn't know, they're still dating to this day. So it's been how many years?
8 years.
It's been 8.5 years.
Wow.
It's 9 years in April.
Yeah. And how old are
Yeah,
you right now?
I'm 24.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that basically means when I 25, it'll be 10 years that year. A decade. A whole decade. That is scary to me, you know? But then it doesn't feel like that. Like, it's funny because we were just shortly talking about what we want to discuss a bit in this episode. And I was like, I literally don't remember. Like, I remember a time before Marcus, obviously, but I was 15, you know? No, but also, like, I don't really remember because when you're 15, like, obviously I have my memories from there, but I don't even really remember because we've just kind of grown together. That I only really have the memories of our dynamic right now, you know? And obviously I remember little bits of things that would annoy me or like, just how I was when I was 15 and like how different we both are now. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird that it's been almost 9 years, but it doesn't feel like that either. I don't know. Because even when I think about you and Jordy, I'm like, oh, it's been like years. But then I'm like, oh wait, it's only been like three. Yeah. But then that also sounds really long. But then I'm like, wait, but
it sounds so short. In my head, it sounds short, but it feels it's one of those things where you're like, it feels like we've been dating for like 10 years.
Yeah. Even like what we were talking about, like our friendship.
Yeah.
In fact, we've only been friends for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's true.
It feels like
but it feels
so
like
long.
It feels like it's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
That's true. Even the guy you're dating right now,
it's
only been 2 weeks. And I literally was like, oh my God, it's been like way longer than that.
That was like,
because Bells was like, oh no, like I don't know what you were saying. You're saying something. And you're like, so I definitely can't do that or whatever because it's only been 2 weeks. And I'm like, no, it hasn't.
Yeah,
and Bells was like,
longer.
I was like,
yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Because I met him the day before Nat came back.
That's true.
From the Caymans. And
That's
she was
crazy.
like, I've been back at least 3 weeks.
Wait, how did you meet again?
On Hinge,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
So
telling Jordy
good.
about this, and also he asked me something about him, and I'm like, I don't know that much information. And Jordy was like, what do you mean? Like, what? And I'm like, they've literally only been dating for like in my head, it feels way longer.
We've
and
seen
Jordy
each
was like,
other,
wait,
like,
what?
yeah.
Only 2 weeks? I'm like, yeah, but it feels like longer.
So weird though. Oh, he's going to watch this and I'm going to cringe out so bad.
Well,
I'm like, even like when we're talking about it, I'm like, just then I knew you were going to say something. I knew what you were going to say.
I didn't out you in any way.
know.
Bells keeps being like, because he's come over twice now. Bells keeps being like, act fucking normal. Like, what? Don't say anything weird.
I would be so scared with you in the room if I was like just
Me?
starting. Yes.
I feel like I'm like the, what do you call it? The best moderator ever. Like, I'm just in the right moments. I say the right
You
things.
just never know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
That's true.
But
You just
I
never
bring
know.
the energy.
You do bring the energy up.
Yeah, you do.
It's all like hee hee ha ha, but
Yeah.
like you also never know what she's gonna say. It's
She's
always
a wild
surprise.
card. The other
But I
day
feel like that's what
he
you
was
have
at
to
ours
do.
and that went, what was it about?
It was like
fuck, what
this
was it about?
random video that exists on the internet of Isabella.
Oh my God.
And
Oh
then
my
and then he was
God.
like, "Oh my God, where can I find this?" And Bells goes, "Nowhere." And I was like, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna have to see this." And I was like, "Yeah, Bells, you're gonna have to show him. Like, he's gonna fall more in love with you." And I just thought that was like,
I was like,
I forget that like love is a very touchy subject in early relationship. I have been in love.
I've known this man 2 weeks.
For, like,
You've been
most-
in love for 8 years. I've known a man 2
I
weeks.
forget that that's just not a normal thing. Like, I
The
think that would
word
be
is, like,
really hard.
touchy,
Yeah.
yeah.
I forget about that.
I
So,
know.
yeah.
But how old were you when you started dating your ex? Like
I was 16.
yeah, so same as me.
Yeah, so
We're
I was 16
different.
until I was like just about to turn 21, basically. When we
It's
broke
crazy when you like think of your relationships now and like how different you were back then and like
Yeah.
the things that you like used to do back then
I
or the
know.
things you thought were normal, like the things I
Yeah.
would think that like or things I tolerated as like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like so many things, like my relationships when I was younger also were so crazy. Like they were very healthy at first and then it always turned like sideways.
See, that's so funny
Always.
because I've never had a toxic relationship.
That's great.
I know. Nina's like, you're missing out.
No, you're not missing out. I've actually only had 2 toxic relationships and then 2 healthy ones. So like technically it's been half and half.
Is
But
Jordy
like,
part of the healthy? Or is that Sorry, no, obviously, but like, what do you mean? But like, or is he the fifth? Or is he the fifth? Sorry, that sounded so wrong. Like, is it? I forget now. So it was two unhealthy, two healthy, and then Jordy, right?
No,
that's what I meant.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like,
okay,
actual boyfriends.
Yeah,
it's only been 4.
Okay,
obviously, my first ever boyfriend doesn't count. Like my first ever like boyfriend when I was in like I don't even know 4th grade doesn't count.
Yeah,
because I was so young. But my first boyfriend that I like introduced to my dad and my mom. Then like I had 2 toxic relationships and then 2 healthy ones. One and this one with Jordy.
Yeah, okay.
Jordy is the second.
Glad we clarified that all up, guys.
Just had to make sure.
Took the last 2 minutes to clarify that.
Yeah, but it's so like I think it's so special when you can like have a relationship that's healthy all the way through.
Yeah.
And but that's like also like a harder relationship to leave because you're like
we know, guys.
We know that because it's like when nothing goes wrong, it's very hard to be like, you know, there's nothing wrong with this person.
Yeah.
They have done everything correctly.
Yeah.
Like in my experience.
Yeah.
One of my exes that was a very healthy relationship did everything correctly. There was I have not one bad thing to say about him, but like they just weren't the person for me. And that is such a hard thing to like let go of because you're like, you just know inside that that's not your person. But like in the moment, you're kind of like going back and forth with like your intuition, but then also your logic. You're like, well, this is a guy that's like a 10 out of 10 on paper. So like, why doesn't it feel like that to me? And it's just so like, I don't know.
I wrote a Substack on something similar the other day, and one of the quotes that I read that I like included in it was, sometimes you just have to sit back, go, this isn't how I want to be loved for the rest of my life, and leave. And I think that is like how it felt for me. We got on really well and everything. Obviously, it's not like with you where there was not one bad thing.
Yeah.
Like obviously there was things, but I was just like, this is just not how I want to be loved for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I knew that at like 20. It's like, this is just.
Honestly, that's a very like it's crazy that you were able to realize that at 20.
Yeah.
Like I think we always tell Bells
he helped
this.
me realize that.
Well, yeah, that's true. But like that you had the thought like that. But that you were able to be like, this is not the way I want to be loved. I feel like I never even had those type of thoughts until I was like 24. Like I was always like, oh, you know, I like him, I don't like him, or like he did this that was bad, so then we're breaking up, or like I did this that was bad, so then we're breaking up. But it was never like a conscious being like, how do I want to be loved, and like, is this what I want for my life? And then making that decision and saying no at 20. I feel like a lot of people at 20 are still like me when I was 20 in like crazy relationships, and you don't even
want to stick through the relationship maybe because you don't maybe want to be alone. I think that's
what a lot of my friends say though. They're just like, oh, like, well, especially with their exes. They're just like, oh, I just need to like, well, we know, like, I just need to stick it out. We just need to work on it. And it's like, no, this is like the most toxic, horrible man on the planet. And they're like, we just need to work through this.
Like, but that's like, always the worst, I think, way to go.
Yeah.
Because it just ruins the whole relationship then. Like a lot of people don't know this, but me and Marcus actually broke up when he had left for uni and I was still in high school. And I guess like because we were so young, like those were the conversations we'd have as well. Like when we got together, I was so worried about what was going to happen next because it was my first time like really loving someone. And I remember I kept being like, but what are we going to do? Because like I have to be sure that like we are in this or I don't even want to start this relationship with you. Like I remember I kept saying that, and Marcus is like a bit more rational rather than emotional. So I feel like that's something he's learned and been so much better at. But back then I feel like I was like, oh my gosh, she's not giving me the emotional reassurance. He would like be way too rational. He was like, obviously we should try, but like I guess he was literally just like thinking about statistically, like it just might not work. But I was like, you can't say stuff like that. Like, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I was like, don't tell me that. I don't remember if he exactly said it like that, but I remember he wasn't giving me the right things to make me feel like this was going to be all fine. You know, I mean, we like worked it out, but he left for uni. And then I think he was also just not super happy in his situation. I was still back home. I was relying on my parents to like pay for my flights and stuff like that. And then I went to visit him, and it was literally, this sounds so bad, but like I literally in that moment was like, this is not right. And his dad had come to like, I don't know, we were gonna go to his parents' place for a little while because they lived in Brussels anyway, and I literally enjoyed hanging out with his dad more than him. And that's when I realized, I was like, ooh, maybe something's off. And then we broke up after that. But then I think that was the best thing for our relationship, because so many people are like, whoa, you've been together for so long, like how do you know that that's your person? Like, aren't you scared that you've never experienced anything else, and yada yada yada. And I feel like I felt that a lot. I would also tell Marcus a lot about that, because I'd be like, I've literally never done anything with anyone else and been with anyone else. Like I would tell him, like, sometimes I worry that maybe I do need to experience that. Yeah, that reassured me. Like after, like, we broke up, had time apart for a month. We actually went fully non-contact. Like I feel like we were so healthy with our
impressive though.
We were like,
no
okay,
contact.
Let's do this. And then because we went through that and then kind of found our way back, Marcus was definitely more... He's going to hate me saying this, but he was pursuing me more because he was also the initiator of the breakup. And then when someone does me dirty, this is something you guys know about me. You're done. You're done.
I'm no second chances.
I'm not a second chance person. Like, you hurt me or someone I love, you're out of my life. Like, that's the thing you said about everyone thinks I'm so nice. And I hope people do think that, but
you are lovely.
The moment you do me dirty, that's when I'm not a people pleaser. Anytime someone is like just rude in a moment or whatever, we're like, that actually gets me going. And my only regret is like not being meaner in the moment. Which is so bad to say. But like, you know, I'm just like, especially when someone's mean to like a close friend of mine, something, I'm like, I wish I stood up for them more. Like, I wish I sasaid this because they deserve this or whatever. But anyway, and that's what like made me more sure, like now long term.
And what you say is true of like, because you mentioned like a lot of people stick out in relationships when they start being toxic, and but then people, I think when we're younger, we're like, no, we have to like kind of like, you know, push through and like, I do love this person, and you don't really, I, for example, didn't have the ability or the like emotional intelligence to be like, this is not right for me for this reason. Like, I'm going to make it work because deep down I do love this person. And that's when it like ruins everything. Like, I say I had 2 toxic relationships, but like they started being very healthy, very beautiful relationships. And then at one moment something happened when we should have been like, you know what? This is done, and then we didn't, and that's when it started getting so toxic and so like crazy that looking back I'm like,
because you start probably acting in a way that is just like that's not your true self. Like people can
when I say toxic, it's I was toxic too. Like I like also like on my social media I was talking about relationships recently and like how I had toxic relationships in the past. I was also very toxic. It's not like just the boys were mean to me or did dirty things to me. I was crazy as well. And I think when you're in relationships with someone that is toxic, or you just get into that toxic environment, you both like fuel off of each other, because you're like, well, they're screaming at me, why wouldn't I scream back? Or like, they're doing this to me, why wouldn't I do it back? And it's so bad. Like,
sometimes I do think like, because I'm so much like, if someone raises their voice at me, I'm just like, okay, I'm never gonna speak to you again. Like, if someone says something mean, I'm like, okay, never speak to you again. But I wonder what I would be like in that environment.
To be fair, I can imagine being younger. That's why I think not to be all sappy, but I think I got so lucky because Marcus has never raised his voice at me. Obviously our relationship wouldn't be lasting this long, but like I can imagine that if someone was like that to me, I would match that energy. And be like,
it happened to me so many times. Like, so many times. But then when I think also like then you start dating someone who, I think that's like, the cool thing about relationships is that every boyfriend I think teaches you something so like cool and interesting about how you want to be loved, but then also about how you should love and how you should act in a relationship. And like I've dated people that maybe have dated other people in the past that like taught them that like you don't raise their voices. So like one of my exes, like he was never like fighting with me, and it taught me to like not be a fighter. I was like, wait, so we don't fight in this relationship? Okay, this is how this works. And then I'm like, wait, this is like so good and so healthy, and like this is how I want my relationships to be. And like you said, like Jordy also has never raised his voice to me, and I always say the day he yells at me, he's out the door. And people are like, wait, but that's dramatic. Like Latin Americans, also like Latinas, are so rowdy and like crazy, but like there's just that line of respect that like if you cross it, no one should be yelling at you guys. Like
core, when people are like, oh my gosh, how have you been in a relationship so long? I'm obviously 24, like still living life, still learning. But I really think why me and Marcus have stayed together for so long is like at the core our value system, like that you respect each other, you don't raise your voice, you don't say you're gonna break up. Like we've only said that one time when we actually did break up, we, you know, and that's it. Like threatening, people, like I'm gonna break up with you. That's never happened. Like that's just you, or like talking about like maybe a future where you're not together. Like that's just, I find that quite bizarre when relationships are like that. Even when people would joke about it, maybe like I've been in situations where couples joke about scenarios like that. I'm like, how is that funny? That's so not okay. I don't know. So
even like saying bad words, that's another big one. Like I again have been in relationships where like in the toxic area, in the toxic stage, we would just call each other like crazy things because we were upset, and that was like normal. And now it's like, even with Jordy, like there is not one single bad word that can be said. Like if I think one time I said one bad word, not to him, but I was like
annoyed.
I'm trying to think of the equivalent in English, but maybe saying like, oh, like damn something, and about him, but like as a joke. And he was like, we don't even joke with like weird words in this household. He was like, there is not a. And so when I hear people being like, oh yeah, he called me a bitch, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And you're still with it. You did not break up to him on the spot. Like, are you kidding me? And I think that's again a line of respect that no one should be calling you names, or you shouldn't be calling any guy names either. Like I think it's also a two-way street when you like talk about that.
I think it's hard as well, because something that I think people do in like younger in relationships is they don't draw that line. And I know that was something for me in my old relationship. The amount of times that my ex crossed a line that I'd put down, and then in my opinion now, the second someone crosses a line and you don't do anything about it, that's just basically saying that's okay. And like I'll for them that. It's like how far can I then push this? Because then my ex just continued to try and push that line that I set. Exactly. And that's the thing, you know, with you saying like, oh, if he raises my voice at me, he's out the door. If he raises his voice, he's out the door. And sticking with that, obviously it's scary in the moment, but in my opinion it's scarier to stay with someone where you have no boundaries and clearly they have no respect for you. There's so many things I feel like we tolerate when we're younger.
I know. I feel like, I don't know, when I was younger, I feel like I don't know, not even that, but I had a lot of relationships with like a lot of jealousy, for example. That was a big one for me. Like I think now as I'm older, I understand that jealousy always comes from like insecurities, and it's not really about what the other person is doing, but also if you're insecure in yourself. But then I also like, I remember I was very bad with jealousy on the side of like provoking it. Like I was such a bad girlfriend to like my first two boyfriends. I was the worst girlfriend ever. And I think like that's again why I think every relationship has taught me something about how I should be loving other people. Like I was like always flirting with not random guys, but like I was so insecure about how I felt. I didn't know this at the time. I then learned it with therapy, but I was so insecure with what I looked like and just like, who I was as a person, that like any attention I could get from anyone else, I would take it because it would make me feel good. And I never once thought like how that was going to make the other person feel. Or even like, I think even like now looking back, maybe like feeling like my boyfriend or something was jealous even fueled that even more, because I'm like, oh, like he's really jealous, and he like, you know, he like loves me, and like you know, these two guys are like fighting over me, like so many things that as a young girl for me I was like, this is like so romantic, like these two guys are like, I remember like a few times there were situations with two guys that were like not fighting, but like they were like these two guys are really good friends that I'm still really good friends with. Like they had a whole thing about when I was really young, and like, or one of my exes with the other ex, and like I felt so like at that time it you
felt like you were the world.
I know, and it's so sad because then now growing up I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I fucking did that to them. Like, you know, it's like this weird feeling of like I was so stupid. Obviously hindsight is 2020, but I think at that age, like that to me was something romantic, like jealousy and like men's attention. And what else can I think of?
Yeah, that was like romantic back then, but
now today like, I'm like, oh my God. No. And I know, for example, today, like again, those relationships taught me I don't play or flirt around with anyone, like not even in the slightest, because I understand what pain that causes to someone else, because I did that and then regretted it for so long. So like now I know in my heart that like if there is any jealousy coming from anyone in my life, like obviously, well, now Jordy, there's any jealousy coming from him, like it won't be from something that I'm causing. Like it will be from something that is his insecurity, and then you'll have to deal with that. Thankfully that hasn't happened. I think he's healed that as well. I think that was a big one for me in my life when I was younger versus right now.
Do you ever deal with jealousy right now? Because I guess that's the biggest thing that I was like talking with Bells about as well. And obviously you've met Jordy when you were 25, right? So obviously you guys both had your pasts, but I always think me and Marcus don't really have a past. Like we were our first like serious relationship, you know? And so, and even with that, like you know, Marcus had a few of his own experiences, and that made me jealous when I was 15. Like I was like, oh, like I need to know what happened, and I need to know that I'm better, you know. And
I need to know that I'm the best. This is competitive.
Yeah, coming out. Literally, I was just like, not even the competitive side, but just like out of my own insecurities. Obviously, when I was 15.
Yeah.
And I now growing up, it's not that I don't think I would be able to deal with it, but I like it is weird. It's like I'm happy Marcus has never had a serious relationship before me. You know?
I don't know how to almost navigate that going into a new relationship.
Like
as well.
I don't know if it's because of the other relationships that I've had. Like I do remember in my previous relationships, it did bother me. And like the ex was
they
like
had an ex.
And like I would always like, I remember in like my previous relationship, I would like go on his ex's like Instagram to like, and you compare yourself and you're like, oh, like, but with Jordy, I don't know why since day one, like I don't give a fuck. Like I literally,
we have literally sat on this couch like we once, I don't
but
think
this
you were
was
there.
like, so I met Jordy and then I think we like, the thing is, I don't know, I think it comes with like the insecurities. I was so confident in myself when I came into this relationship that like his exes never even crossed my mind. I was like, I knew that he loved me and that he was showing me all these things that I was like, I don't care. And also Jordy like moved to the Netherlands for another girl, by the way. Like
poor guy
moved. I don't think he cares that I say this, but like he had a girlfriend that was Dutch, and like that's why he started looking for jobs in the Netherlands. Then they broke up. Then after that, he got a job and he was like, well, this is a great opportunity. Like, I'm still going to go. I think to anyone that would be like, oh my God, like, do you still talk to her? I was just like, I think I'm so happy with being single and being alone that like, if you do still talk to your ex, if I do find out some shady shit, we'll just break up and I'll continue on with my life. And it's not that like, it won't be that big of a deal because I'm secure in like that I will be fine without him. So I think that plays a big role. But we like, I think we had been dating for like years. Like we were in this apartment already.
It was literally like probably the start of this year. This time last year.
Like Jordy and I had been dating for like 2.5 years. And then we sat here one day. It was Mimi, Bells and I. And Mimi was like, I don't know. She just...
Mimi had mutuals with some of Jordy's friends because they're both from Barcelona.
Yeah.
So then we were going through all of Jordy's exes and then seeing if Mimi had mutuals with them.
Yeah.
And we were like finding them on Instagram. We were like, wait, is this her? Is this her? Yeah. Like showing Jordy. And then we'd be like looking through her account and be like, ooh, she's kind of pretty. Like,
and this was the first time ever that I saw his exes. Like I had never seen his ex-girlfriends ever. And that was like 2.5 years in. That was the first time I ever saw his exes.
Funny.
How did that make you feel then when you saw like?
So then when I saw them again, like it felt like I was going through it did not tickle me anyway. That's the thing. Like there's no room in my brain to think that and I also like know that he wouldn't, like I don't know how to explain it. This is gonna sound so bad, but I just know that I am better for him than anyone else. Than any of them.
No,
so
but
it's that weird confidence that like I think you have to have. Yeah. And like I know this is something that actually one of my exes taught me, not my ex, but like a situationship friend thing. But like I've told you guys, this was an era in which I had just gotten out of like my craziest relationship and I was so toxic and insecure and I was crazy. We were in uni and like he just came in and he was just having the time of his life in uni and we kind of started going out and dating, and then I was so jealous always because again for me that was normal. I was so toxic. Anytime he talked to any other girl in front of me I was like, who is that? Like I was crazy. And this guy sat me down and he was like, look, like I don't do jealousy. He was like, if this is gonna work between us, like I don't do jealousy. And he said, you need to learn this too. But he was like, he's like, I know my value. I know who I am. And I also know your value. I know who you are and how much like you're worth. And he goes, I know what I have by having you and I know who I am. So like, there's no room in this relationship for me to like want anyone else or worry about anything else or like, but he was like, but this is how you should think about things as well. And I was like, oh, that's so true. And I think slowly from that was a moment in which it clicked in my brain. Then my next relationship, a very healthy one, I never once felt like jealousy. Obviously, little moments here and there because I was really drunk. Like when I was drunk, I would be like crazy. But then same with Jordy, like there's just no room in my head to be like jealous because it doesn't. And I'm not a worrier. You guys know that. Like I never worry about things. I'm like, if he is going to cheat on me, he will. No matter what, no matter if I worry, no matter if I lock him in the bedroom, no matter anything. If a guy wants to cheat on you, they will. So why on earth would I spend my precious energy worrying about it? And when they do, I will eventually find out, and then we'll just break up, and it will hurt, but I will continue going on with I'm not gonna die, you know, like I've been so fine without boys before. So like, I think that's a way that I'm like, that's how I feel like you should think about it. Cause you've had an amazing life without any boys.
I know. Yeah. Honestly, one thing that Nina has said to me before, which is like kind of made me feel more comfortable, is like Geordie, for example, you never doubted for 1 second his intentions.
Yeah.
And I think that also helps with the jealousy and everything, and even worrying and stuff. Because if someone makes you feel that comfortable and that secure, like it is also, of course, it is a confidence thing, but it's also about choosing a partner that makes you feel secure in that relationship.
Yeah. Obviously, for me, it's a bit different because it was my first boyfriend. And I feel like I was a bit like, but I like also never felt a spark at the beginning. Like it was just like the thing, right? And that's the whole thing in relationships. Like sparks are low-key red flags.
Yeah, every single person I talk to
equals fear.
Like, the spark it's fear, it's anxiety.
That's what it is. It's a red flag.
Yeah, 100%. Like you just want to feel calm.
You want to feel comfortable, like you can be yourself.
Yeah.
I just
hard for me.
I just remembered something that I feel like would throw you over the edge if it happened to you. Like when we're talking about like jealousy and stuff. When I started dating Jordy, my priorities were not straight. Like I cared about partying and DJs and having fun. So I moved and I didn't know anyone. And Jordy obviously liked me, and he was like inviting me to all these things. And one day he was finally like, I want to take you out on this like date. Like he didn't word it date, but he was like planned a whole day. We were going to a museum, and then we were going to a wine bar that he had gone to, and it was on a Sunday afternoon, and he planned it, and I was like, oh, that would be super nice. But he didn't say like, okay, I bought everything, I did everything. He was like, we should go to this museum, and then we should go to this wine bar. Long story short, I meet this other group of people that same week. It was my roommate, my roommate. God. And then they were like, oh, this DJ that I love was coming on Sunday afternoon to Amsterdam. And I was like, oh my God. And I loved going out. So then I was like, oh my God. So I messaged Jordy and I'm like, hey, like I have such cool news. Like this really cool DJ that I really like is coming to Amsterdam on Sunday afternoon. So do you mind if we like move the date to Sunday morning, and then we like just like have a little wine before the thing, and then we go to see this DJ together? He was like so hurt that I had moved his date, because I guess now looking back,
justice for Jordy.
He put so much intention into this, and I was such an idiot because I didn't like him. That's what we were talking about before. So I was like, I don't care.
We would not have been friends if we met you back.
I know, at all.
Such a younger sister vibe.
Yeah. And I literally told him, and he was like, I think he got a little bit upset, but I was like, I want to go meet people, because Jordy was the only person I knew. So I was like, this is a new group of friends that likes the same music as I do. And I was really like prioritizing that as well. And I went to this party. He canceled the date. He was like, let's just do it another day. And he got upset at me and didn't speak to me for like 2 days. And then I went on this party, and he then posted stories from the museum and at the wine bar that night. And then I was like, who did you go with? And he was like, just someone. And he literally went with another girl. To the same day.
I heard this, I forgot.
Yeah, so funny.
And again, it did not tickle
didn't bother you 1 second.
Single hair in my body. I was
so
like,
funny.
I literally was like,
okay.
oh, I
nice.
bet she wasn't as fun as I was. So that's fun. And then he like planned the whole date again for us to go later.
Oh my
And then that was our official first date. Like when we then went
so
after
funny.
that. But see,
That's
even in that
so
situation,
funny.
I'm like, he literally went out with someone else while we were like, but we were starting to go
Yeah.
out. And I was like, you know what? If she's better than me, be my guest.
Yeah.
Like I will for sure meet someone else then. Like that's the mentality that I feel like you have to have.
I think that's the thing with my mindset now, like with being single for the last 2 years, especially this last year, I am so fucking happy on my own. Yeah. And like with you guys and stuff, like my female friendships, I spoke about this so much, like when I first broke up with my ex, but my female friendships are my entire life.
Yeah.
And where I put so much energy of like so much of my energy and my time and everything. And the amount of things where like my sister will be like, yeah, but what if they do this? And I'm like, well, then they're just not my person. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's not for 1 second of worry, because I'm like even if it doesn't work out with this guy, like obviously it'll be a shame because we get on really well and he's really nice and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just like, well, if he's not my person, then he's not my person.
Yeah. You'd rather find that out early so they don't waste your time.
That's so true.
And
also,
I'm just so happy on my own.
That's the thing. That's what I was going to say. Like, I think so many people maybe have this conception, or maybe not, I don't know, but that you like once you're in a relationship, like it's you two, which it should be like, you know, a partnership, a team. Like I always do see that with me and Marcus, but also like even with my situation now, like that we're long distance and all that stuff, to still like the fact that I know I'm so happy by myself as well, and like had the confidence to stay back and like be with you guys here. I think that also is what makes a relationship really strong, and like that you don't need to like give up a lot, just that you are really happy right now. And also what you were saying, like if someone does something, you know, you're happy on your own. And I think that's also at the core, not only if you guys are aligned in your values, but in your own self. Like if you know you're happy, nothing can faze you. Like,
and that, I feel like that's something we talk about a lot, is that like the way our friendships, the way our confidence, the way our career and everything, it changes what you look for in a person. It's very different when you are your own person, and like you have so much autonomy and you feel so confident in yourself and your abilities and your career and what you believe your life to look like, that someone has to come in and like offer so much more for you to be like, oh, you know what, this makes sense.
I guess especially when I think long term, like for our future and how we talk about our future as well. Like I think obviously you never know what's going to happen, but we all know that we're very motivated people, and that we want to strive for the best. And also like when we talk about having kids, like how we want someone who's going to be like the best dad ever. But not only that, but also, well, I guess that equals the best dad. Also, if you can provide like the best life for your kids as well, and then do that with a partner who has the same vision long term. And I feel like, if you want to have someone in your life who not only matches you, but like continues to like, just like we do with each other, like how our friendship has like sprouted this like new part of us. Like you want someone who will also egg you on and continue
motivate
to make you like feel better, want to be your best, and not make it feel like a chore or whatever, but you guys both are excited. Like I think that's the whole beauty of a relationship, like genuinely just continuing to be excited about like spending more time, creating more memories, and then also like creating the best future ever, and like continuing to like work for that together.
Well, it's that thing where like a lot of the times when you're like an entrepreneur, or you're like a businesswoman, or you're just kind of like doing life on your own, like you've been doing this whole time and we've done before. Well, I don't know about you. Well, now that I say that, I don't know about now on that one. But
I feel like now is my era.
Now
like
it's your era.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's created so much more confidence in me.
Like, but a lot of that time, like, well, I think what I'm going to say is going to make you realize why I said not you, but you, when you do things alone, like you're very much in your masculine energy always. Like you're very much like you're figuring things out. Like even you like putting up your, like building your furniture in your house. Like you're trying to make things happen. And like in the business side of things, like you're always like on the go. You're in your masculine era. And when you meet someone who like is very strongly in their masculine energy, energy, then you can be in your feminine. I love like having an intense day of like events or random things that we have to do, and like a very intense work day, but then coming home and being like cuddled and babied and by Jordy, like looked after. Exactly. Like that when you feel that, like, and you feel very much in your feminine energy, I think that also is super attractive as women who are always out there in our freaking masculine energy. You know, I think that like is something subconscious, but it really does affect the way that you like see a relationship.
Definitely.
And it's also like you want someone that's gonna kind of like push your family forward. Like I don't know how to explain that, but like obviously we all work a lot and like we all have made our own money and whatever, but like still you look for someone. I don't know, for me, if it's culturally, because in Colombia like the man is always a provider in the family. You look for someone who's gonna like protect and care for your family, because men are like that. They're like protectors of the family.
It's funny for me because obviously I never had that growing up. And so in my family, our literal motto was, who needs a man? We would do something really hard and we'd be like, who needs a man? Like, yeah, who needs a man? I think the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what? No, like I want to be in my feminine energy. I want to be able to relax. I want to be able to
rely on someone.
And I do think that's going to be something for me going into a new relationship that I will have to really work on, because I do not rely on people.
Yeah, not
as
at all.
you guys know.
Bells always thinks she can do it better.
Do it better,
like, do you need help? And she's like, nope.
She's like, nope.
I got it.
You guys just do this.
Yeah. But did you notice this morning when we were setting up the podcast, I asked you guys to help?
Yeah.
I was like, Nat, please can you set up the camera?
And I said, do you need help with that? You're like, nope.
That wouldn't have been a good 2-job thing.
I know, that's
job.
not a 2-person thing.
But I think that's something I really need to learn, is just to be like, ask for help, be in my feminine energy, and just have that person that I can rely on.
Yeah, because especially like men, not that we're experts, but kind of like they want to help and they enjoy that so much.
Everyone says.
But
I always
also,
say that.
Yeah, but you also want to be with the right man that also knows you're capable, but he wants to just do it for you. You know, that's
or
my
like
favorite.
push you to
perfect
learn
middle ground.
how to do it. Like with Jordy, a lot of the times, like a lot of times he wants to do things, and I'm like, let me help, and he's like, I got it. Like, but in his brain is because he has like this masculine brain that like he just will do things and I can just not. But I'm like, I want to learn too. So like now we've like switched into this, sometimes, not always, but sometimes he'll like, you know, he like pushes me to like do those things myself. And then I think that's also super empowering, because there's so many things and like in life, like I'm so insecure in like the most random shit. And he's always like the number one person to be like, you are so incredible in this and that. And I'm like, I'm so not. But it's so fun to have like a relationship. He's literally my little cheerleader. So cute.
Like, I think that's the beauty of a relationship. Like, you'll always balance each other out.
I remember being like, you need to learn how to be alone. It's such a cliche thing, but like when you feel like you can be so confidently happy on your own, I feel like then there's no room for that, like, oh, I'm gonna stay with this guy even though he did this and this and this, because I'm scared of being alone. Like I've also had that feeling in the past, and I'm like, I will stay with you no matter what, because I can't live without you. That was the mentality. But then after living a few years, 2 years single, I was like, wait, this is so fucking cool. Like, what do you mean? Like I can just do whatever I want all day. Like I can go out with my friends and do whatever. It was so cool, and I was so happy and fulfilled that then you can go into a relationship and be like, you know what, I'm in this and I'm going to stay in this because I want to be with you, but never because I have to. Like if you do something, again, if you do anything that's like wrong or crosses my line, I will leave you instantly, because I know that I can be happy alone and I know that I don't have to be with you. I just want to.
I think that's what creates the best relationship.
Yeah.
Because you know there is like almost an ultimatum, not in like a pressure way, like, oh, but yeah, you have to hold yourself to your own highest standard, and so does your partner. And if that falters, like obviously you're gonna go through hard things in life together, and that's like something different. But if you like behave out of line and then that's it. Like you can't do that. That's not a mistake. Like also in friendship, you know, like if you do something horrible, like sorry, like I don't know, some obviously you can like maybe depending on always what it is, you can always find forgiveness, but like most of the time I always think that just shows a person's true colors, you know.
And
like
we
you've
know,
done that one.
there's no second chances for
There's no no, literally though, the low key though, Marcus is the only person I've given a second chance and
here we are, it worked out.
He prays to whoever up there and he's like, thank God she gave me a second chance.
You also need to be a good part. I always say, you need to, when I talk about relationships on social media, I'm like, oh, they should do this and that, but like you also need to be a good partner. Like you can't always be like, well, they can't do this and this, and like even when you're looking for relationships, we all tend to do this, like we'll make a list of like what we want in another person. Always. Like I had my list of I was manifesting Jordy, but I'm like, am I even all these things? And like also there's gonna be a lot, like I don't know if it happened to you guys or like if it's happening to you now, Bells, going into this new experience, but like there's a lot of things that you like look out for that maybe a person doesn't have, or like maybe they will have something and you're like, wait, that's cringe, I really don't like that. But like, and I think we've talked about this before, Bells, I'll be like, there's gonna be things when you're dating someone new that are cringe and that you're not gonna like, but you need to like kind of like put them in a list of like how important those are.
I always say like also things can be changed, like you once said, I forget if it was you or someone else, but like when guys' style isn't like, you know, in the way you want it to be, I get it. Like it's cool when a guy knows how to dress, but I'm also like, that can be changed. It takes one shopping trip and it's not that big of a deal. Like it's really not that deep.
Especially with the right person.
Especially if exactly like if it's a right person, like so what, he doesn't dress well, so what, he doesn't know how to dance. Like it's literally so not important, but that when I was younger again was so important to me.
It's easy to point out maybe flaws in other people and wanting to have this and this, but at the end of the day, like that's the whole point as well. Like you need to be a good match for someone, or why would you, this sounds horrible, but deserve someone who's like loyal, or maybe it doesn't sound horrible, but like all these qualities if you can't offer them.
That's
well.
honestly such a big thing, that because obviously I've got my list as well. Everything that you have on your list, you also need to be able to provide
Yeah.
that. Like anything you have on your list needs to be applicable to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because you also need to be able to provide the value. You can't expect someone to be really, really focused on their health when you're not really focused on your health.
Yeah.
Like it goes two ways.
Yeah. You always look for this like
cigarettes.
perfect person, but I'm like, you're not perfect. Like we all have
Did you
so
just
many
hear
flaws.
what that said?
Wait, what?
She went, no more cigarettes.
Bells only smokes when she goes out, but I'm
Only in
such
Manchester.
I'm such an like what's it called?
No, that's a
I-
non-negotiable. You
that's-
can't smoke.
Yeah,
you can't
you're
smoke.
stopping now. No more. Sorry.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
it.
that's a non-negotiable
That's it.
for us. If you want to keep being our friends,
Yeah,
if you want to
real.
keep being our
Actually, I
friend,
should have made that ultimatum with you 2 years ago.
I feel like we've been rambling for
This
too
has
long.
been really fun.
I know.
I know.
I
And
know
there's so
some
many
of
things
boys.
about this topic
Yeah.
that we could extend on.
So
but
many
yeah.
things.
we hope you guys enjoyed
We
this,
hope
and
you
we hope
enjoyed,
this was
yeah.
a fun little chat. We love you guys, and we will see you in the next episode.
In the next
Love you.
episode.
Bye.
See you later.